Come check out the Ottocast P3. It's like a whole upgraded computer, but for your car. Welcome everybody to AppleInsider. It is Andrew here, and this guy has just arrived, and I am really excited to start testing this out. So Ottocast actually sponsored this video. I'll be upfront with you about that. But before they had even approached about being a sponsor, I had purchased another Ottocast product and had been using it in my prior car. I just grabbed this out of my wife's car. This is like the U2 Air, which gives my wife wireless CarPlay, and we've used this for like more than a year or two now, I believe, which is just, it's worked incredibly well. But then this new P3 launched, and I was really excited to check this out, and they just so happened to want to be sponsors for this video. So let me walk you through what this crazy thing is. But basically, it's a tiny little Android computer that you can connect to your car's infotainment system and run all sorts of apps or navigation or CarPlay, all of these things with this tiny little guy. Let's go ahead and open it up. Then I'll install it and show you guys what this can actually do and some extra uses outside of the car. This is part of Ottocast AIBox series, and it's the latest generation. So we've got the Ottocast P3. Let's open it up. Let's go ahead and remove this outer covering, and we're going to open up the box, and boom, there it is, the Ottocast AIBox P3. Looks super nice. I mean, it's kind of like the size like a small coaster, I guess is what you would consider that sizing there, but you just have the Ottocast logo in the middle, and there's all these little lights kind of around it that you can't see right now while it's off, but once you get this installed, you'll be able to see how those lights work, and you can change them. If we look on the side, you'll notice a couple things. So there's actually a little spot here where you can add in a SIM card or a memory card and boost the storage. There is a USB-C port, so you can provide power, and then an HDMI output. So it's not a full-size HDMI, but it still is an HDMI output that you can use to connect to other devices, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. Let's see what else is included with the P3 here. So taking out the extra packaging, underneath we have some really nice cable options. So USB-C cable, including like a 90-degree one, which is really handy in tight spaces like in the car. We have a second USB cable, so this one is USB-C to plug into the P3, but has a USB-A port on the other end, so if you have an older car that still has USB-A ports, then this guy can work for you. I love they give you options. And then you have another adapter here, basically with like a splitter, so you can plug it in, and there's still a USB-A port, but there's also a USB-A port on the other side to provide power, so just another extra cable included in the box. Then you're going to get your product manuals and how to install this. This wonky cable here is actually for when you have a USB-A port and are using wired CarPlay. So you'll plug in the splitter into the car's infotainment system, USB-A port. Then you're going to plug the P3 into that splitter there. Then you're going to take the other USB-A port and plug it into a power adapter, like a 5-volt, car little adapter. Just plug that in there, and that'll give you your power for the P3 as well as covering the CarPlay and everything else. So really nice. They just give you extra cables in the box. My guess is you didn't have something like this just lying around. We got the P3, let's go ahead, head to the Jeep, get it installed. I hopped in the car and installation was basically as easy as it gets. I just plugged the USB-C cord into the USB-C port on my car, and it basically booted up, gave me a warning message, and I was good to go. It's got 8 gigs of memory, 128 gigs of storage, and it's running Android 12. The P3 has this cool light effect that goes around the wheel here. You don't have to worry about that, but if you do like those lights, you can actually go in and change them, customize them, change like the patterns and everything. It's pretty sweet. The overall UI of the P3 is very customizable. So like you have this dashboard view, gives you things like a weather widget, you can jump into your navigation, whichever one you prefer. I set mine up for just Google Maps, so I can just tap into that, go into Google Maps, and navigate that way. But what's even cooler is you can like minimize Google Maps. When I leave it and look at another app here on the P3, Google Maps can just be floating in the corner, and it's even movable, so I can move it anywhere on the screen, so I can still keep up with my navigation while doing other things through the infotainment system. I'm not saying do something dangerous like watch a video, but I could pull up like my media interface and just have that full screen. There's a bunch of apps that come pre-installed on the P3, so you can go through here and launch things like Netflix or Disney+, but you can also go to the Play Store and download any additional apps. So you could find like maybe Max. You want to add Max here? Cool, you can add it to your infotainment system. I was literally able just to open up Disney, sign into my Disney Plus account, and start streaming Andar. But I'm not going to show that because copyrights. You could install games on here, you can install different navigation ones, media ones, whatever streaming service that you want to listen to, all is possible to add directly here to the P3. Obviously, I prefer Apple Music, but whatever your streaming platform of choice is, you can just download it from the Play Store. So if you prefer Spotify, Pandora, Tidal, literally any of the others, just download those and use them instead. Another really cool benefit is that you can actually switch between whatever system you want. So you can go between the Auto Drive 2.0 interface, Android Auto, or just use CarPlay. You have all three of them available through the P3. Since there is a SIM card slot, you could add a SIM card and run it that way, or you could tether it to your phone like I did, or if your car has its own Wi-Fi built in. You can use any photo you like as your wallpaper home screen. There's a bunch in here to choose from, or you can add your own to the Photos files, but there's a bunch from here to choose from that really can give you a customized appearance. I love split screen mode because you can either run things like side by side, full half and half, or maybe 30%, 70%, or 70%, 30%, whatever makes sense for the apps that you're running. As long as it's safe, like you're in a parked position, I love being able to use my car's infotainment system and speakers to watch and stream movies and TV shows. It's just amazing to me. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay both lack the ability to do things like play games or watch videos, which you can clearly do with the AIBox P3. But again, only do this when you are parked, safe, and not driving. This thing is so simple, so easy to set up, and there's just so much you can do with it. I can't even list all the possibilities in this video. So outside of the car, this can be really handy. Because it's still basically an Android computer, there's all these things you can do. You can just using it as a little streaming deck, like a portable Apple TV that you can take with you. So you are heading on vacation, plug this into a TV wherever you go. You are in the car and you have little monitors in the back. You can use this to power those headrest monitors. Maybe you are running an RV. You got a TV in the RV. Cool, connect this to it and stream whatever you want to stream from it. There's just so many different options. They even pitch us as using this in like a business environment on, for running presentations. I'm not going to be doing that, but I love the media applications of this and just having like an additional streaming box that I can take with me anywhere. So that is the Ottocast P3. This is just a cool little device. I absolutely love it. And as an extra bonus for all of you, Ottocast is giving all of the AppleInsider viewers $70 off. So if you'd like to pick one up, there's a link below in the description. Get $70 off your Ottocast P3 box. Try it out for your car. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like something like this? Let me know down below in the comments over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Otherwise, stay tuned because I have so many more cool videos coming your way.